Okay. Well, it's Saturday once again, folks. And it's that happy time. I get to talk to everybody, get to chat, get to say all sorts of things. Like, hey, we got a new president. Of course, you all know that. Of course, not letting them get at anything. This asshole standing in the way of any kind of a changeover. He still refuses to concede. What an ass. I'm having eye trouble this week, so you'll have to give me a break here. My left eye here is fucking up on me. I have Graves' disease. Ooh, spooky Graves' disease. But anyway, we're coming up on 420, so I got to get ready for that. It's rapidly approaching, and I don't want to miss it this time. I've been missing it far too often lately. That's not happening this week. So I'm ready. I'm ready when y'all are. So let's get this thing going and keep it going as we fast approach that happy time. I'm going to stall here for a sec, counting the seconds, waiting for the clock to flip. And it's happy 420. Seeker, welcome aboard. Right about now is good. Happy 420. So Trump campaign took its toll. There are 130 plus Secret Service agents who are now either infected with COVID or quarantined because of COVID-19. I got to put these things on. My eyes are bothering me. Seems the day before the election, Trump held 5 rallies in 5 different cities, and 20 to several dozen agents, different agents, work each and every one of those rallies, and most of the attendees, of course, didn't wear masks. Surprise, surprise. Since, of course, Trump discourages that sort of thing. And then, of course, you know, when he got released from the hospital, he had to take that joyride around Washington, D.C. with agents in the car with him. And then he made that speech on the balcony where he took off his mask and went back inside, where there were agents inside exposed to him while he was still sick. Okay. So that's 10% of the elite force of the special service, the Secret Service. Okay. Stony, welcome aboard. Happy 422. But yeah, so he's really fucked things up at the Secret Service. A lot of sickos, like I say, over 130 are either sick or in quarantine because of his re-election campaign. I'm aboard. I'm wearing a life preserver. Oh, good. Because I don't know when this ship might sink. So I don't have a lot of notes today, but I got some stories on my phone, and I found one rather disturbing story here. That's that 80% of those who died of COVID-19 in Texas county jails were never convicted of a crime. These are people. COVID is a virus. Trump is a disease. Ain't that the truth? Anyway, 80% of those who died of COVID-19 in Texas county jails were never convicted of a crime. Okay? These are people who were waiting to go to trial. Okay? These are people who were guilty of not being able to post bond. In other words, debtor's prison. Yeah, exactly. These are people who were waiting to go to trial. They were in debtor's prison because they couldn't afford to post bond. At least that's the way I look at it. It seems to me that if you don't show up for court, that's another story. But if you're just awaiting trial for one thing or another, they ought to be able to release you and take your word for it that you're going to show up. Okay? I mean, that doesn't seem like too much to ask. We're all adults here. Turns out there's a new report from the University of Texas at Austin. Over 230 people have died from COVID-19 in Texas correctional facilities. And that's probably a low estimate because not all the correctional facilities in Texas are state-run. They don't count people who died of other things who died of COVID, but where COVID was the cause, but they had some underlying ailment. But COVID was the contributing factor. And they don't, they're also like months behind in reporting prison deaths. Prisons are a petri dish for this thing, okay? We got going here. That's why Oregon legalized all drugs, small amounts. Yes. Googling kudos. Okay. 3 honks. Does that mean charge? Or retreat? I'm not sure. But I think it means I had a stuffed up nose. Anyway, I think it's nuts that people are in jail because they can't afford to post the outrageous fucking bonds. Okay? The fucking bail they ask for some crimes are fucking ridiculous. Ostriches don't. You're right. Like ostriches don't, yes. I mean, don't you think it's silly after all these years to still be demanding money from people for ridiculous fucking crimes when you could just say, sign here and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And if you don't show up, we're going to come get you, you know? Yeah, 5,000 people died in prison that were not even sentenced. Yeah, that was over a 10-year period. But this is just in the state of Texas, okay, of COVID this year. Buds, welcome aboard. So, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, this is, I just, I don't know. I think it's nuts. We got the highest numbers we've ever had in COVID, and the president won't even talk about it. I'm sorry. Did I call him the president? I apologize. The orange guy, the dickhead. That's too nice a thing to call him. The asshole. Old sphincter mouth. Yeah, the ex-president. Who is the least likely to die from COVID? Me, because I don't go anywhere or talk to anybody. Impeach one-term dildo. I like that. Katie, welcome aboard. Good to see you. So Thursday, the law firm that led Trump's efforts to challenge results in Pennsylvania abruptly withdrew from a federal lawsuit that it had filed on behalf of the campaign. That followed Sunday's Snell and Wilmer of Phoenix withdrew as counsel for the Republican National Committee after claiming Arizona votes were excluded illegally. Oh, Katie, congratulations on 2 Democratic senators. Whoopee. Yes, you do need evidence. So Thursday, they had the Philadelphia thing tossed. And Sunday, Snell and Wilmer resigned. Now Friday, Jones Day, involved in the Trump campaign since before the 2016 election, said they will not get involved in any additional litigation in this election. And they said that in a video conference with their colleagues. So Jones Day was like his biggest defender. And yeah, that is huge in Arizona. And for Arizona. You're right. So that's I think he's filed 16 election lawsuits and has won 1. So the Trump campaign shut down their voter fraud hotline Friday because they were getting too many prank calls. So that wasn't going well for them. What else is doing? My buddy works at our dispensary and calls me when something special comes up. And he called. Oh, does that mean you're on your way out the door? The war on drugs drags on, and apparently the war on Xmas is still a thing for some. There's a war for this and a war for that. Why no war on COVID and simply a war on illness? I don't know. I've been here since 1985. It has been red until this year. Yeah, thank goodness. Thank goodness things have changed. You got diamonds. Cool. Cool with a capital C. Now, Barr put out a memo to department prosecutors to investigate voter irregularities. And the election crimes chief promptly resigned. Okay. So $30 for chronic diamonds. Wow. What kind of setting are you going to put him in? Hope you got an email. So 16 assistant U.S. attorneys specially assigned to investigate voter fraud sent a memorandum to Barr urging him to rescind his memo as they found no evidence of voter fraud, large-scale voter fraud anywhere. Okay. And they also said that this memorandum seemed nakedly partisan. Okay. Burn. Burn. Whoops. Burn my shirt. Let's see. I am now listening to videos about good living dirt. I love dirty videos. You love Prego Hookers only? Well, yes, I do, Sony. What's become of you? We are not disappointed. You're writing again. What are you writing? What are you writing? Excuse me. Oh, was it time for the wow? Today's wow is lemon tag. 24.15% THC. And it is a sativa dominant hybrid. What you and buds? And Seeker? And everybody? The event at Four Seasons Total Landscaping is epic illustration of how weak this admin is. Such shallow effort in all things. Well, that was a total fiasco. First of all, he was at the wrong Four Seasons. Okay. And it wasn't supposed to happen at all. Okay. I'm doing the National Novel Writing Month Challenge. 50,000 words in 30 days. I'm at 15,502. And what day is it? I'm hitting Jamaican name with a topping of gelato diamonds. Nice. That event will provide similarity to history lessons for generations to come. Yes, it will. Started on November 1st. Oh, you've got some time then. Here goes my nose again. See how many honks we get this time. Is that Morse code, Frank? Hold the key down for 2 hours. Can you imagine this? Psych studies on his mental illnesses. If only he'd submit. Although he could be rubber roomed at any moment, I think. All you'd have to do is keep him off a golf course for a couple of days, and he'd rubber room. A word? I suppose. What have you said? A. How many words is that? Squirming like his brain is squirming like a toad. Shit, that's a word. Especially if it's good shit. So, they took Obamacare before the Supreme Court, and we're waiting for a decision. And I'm hopeful because at least 5 judges seem positive about ruling against the challenge. Because 20 million people would lose coverage if they were to shit can Obamacare. And that's a lot of people. Now, what this is about is well, doesn't look like Amy's going to have any influence, really. What this is about is this penalty that they had imposed initially. And Chief Justice Roberts had ruled it was a tax. Okay. Well, take care, Stoney. Catch you next time. Anyway, Roberts had ruled it was a tax. Looks like a tax, walks like a tax. It's a tax. And they had taken it and they had reduced the tax to zero. And since they have the power to impose a tax, they had imposed a tax, and it was a tax, and they reduced the tax to zero. It was still a tax. So Congress went back and said, it's no longer a tax. So now they're going before the Supreme Court and they're saying, it's not a tax. And we want the whole law thrown out because it's not a tax. She is junior. Those old fart men on the court will keep her in her subservient woman's place. Yeah, unlike Ruth. Okay. They couldn't control Ruth. Okay. But so they're going back and they're saying, well, now it wasn't a tax. So we want the whole thing thrown out. And Justice Kavanaugh, who was, of course, a Trump appointee, and Trump expects him to do whatever Trump says, isn't. Okay. Kavanaugh says, it does seem fairly clear, this is a quote, it does seem fairly clear that the proper remedy here would be to sever the mandate and leave the rest of the act in place. And Roberts said that Congress left the rest of the law intact when it lowered the penalty to zero. And Roberts says, I think they want us to strike it down, but that's not our job. Okay. So it looks like there's a good chance that they're going to rule that Obamacare is going to stay intact and that they have to just sever the penalty and just remove that portion of the act from the Obamacare Act and from the Obamacare laws and let it go at that. And they'll have no other recourse. And so much for fucking with Obamacare in the future. They'll just have to find a way to fund it. And that's that. So that's all the notes I have. I have a couple other stories on my phone, but I've been having trouble reading because of my eye. So what do we have here? This virus poses threat to our national security. 130 Secret Service agents out of action, aircraft carriers locked down, 6 senators, etc. And so universal health care is a patriotic program. Yes. Yeah, why do away with health care during a pandemic? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because it puts money in Trump's pocket, probably, some way, fashion, or another, by benefiting big pharma and medical industry. It somehow or another puts money in Trump's pocket, I'm sure, and that's the reason. It's the only reason I can see. He must have a large investment in medical industry or one way or another. Maybe they golf at his resorts. This is going to kill him. Not being able to misdirect aircraft to Scotland so that he can use that airport. There isn't going to be any air traffic there now. He won't be able to keep that airport open. Won't be enough sufficient air traffic to keep that airport open. Unless he buys it. And, you know, he doesn't like to spend money. At least not his own. So he's going to lose a lot of hotel business in D.C., which is the only viable hotel he has right now. The only property that's making money. Nobody's going to have any interest in going to Mar-a-Lago because nobody's going to be interested in running into him. Buy it with what money? Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. He wouldn't buy anything, you know. He never has, you know. Yeah, not with his own money. He'll have to convince somebody else to buy that airport so that it'll be available for his use. So he's in deep shit. Once he gets out of office, he's in deep shit. He expects to run again in 2024. I don't know that the party will have him in 2024. Of course, I guess that's why they're courting him now. Why they're not turning his back on him, you know. But some of these people got to start wising up pretty soon. Because if there doesn't start being a transition pretty soon, we're going to be in a really weak position governmentally. Him putting all of these loyalists in the Pentagon, and what we got this fucking Islamophobe in there now who wanted to shoot Mexicans at the border, and some crazy shit going on. When my neighbors are in good health and they're with full bellies, that is when home feels more secure, most secure. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Fortunately, I live in an area where that's the case. We haven't been hit real hard by the virus here. We're a spread out community, you know, rural area. And even the towns are, you know, small communities. And people have sense enough to wear masks when they go in the stores. So, and medical personnel around here, the dentists even shut down their shops. You know, at least my dentist. He's been really good about it. When he was open, even you'd wait in your car till your appointment. You know, everything was plexiglass shielded. His office, everything. Nobody went in until somebody came out. Very careful about everything. The White House pandemic continues. That's refreshing to know that they can't keep their own people safe. My doc told me to not go out unless it's an emergency now. forget the flu shot because I have no physical human contact right now. Well, I got a flu shot already, so I'm covered for that. Not that I have much human contact anyway. But the one person I was concerned about was my next door neighbor. And it turns out he's negative as of last week. So, because he has a lot of human contact. He's been working and he has a lot of human contact, but he's clear. He was tested last week. So it's nice to see that. Geekicidal tendencies. Welcome aboard. Well, what other stories I had here? Oh, just the rebuilding of Pentagon. Here's my eco story. The world's largest wetlands are on fire. Isn't that nice to know? South America's Pantanal region has been hit by the worst wildfires in decades. The blazes have already consumed about 28% of the vast floodplain. Stretches across parts of Brazil and Bolivia and Paraguay. They're still not completely under control. Fires have destroyed unique habitats and wrecked the livelihoods of many of the Pantanal's diverse indigenous communities. The damaging impact reaches far beyond the region. Wetlands like the Pantanal are Earth's most effective carbon sinks, ecosystems that absorb and store more carbon than they release, keeping it away from the atmosphere. At roughly 200,000 square kilometers, the Pantanal comprises about 3% of the globe's wetlands and plays a key role in the carbon cycle. Well, it's nice to know that 28% of it is gone. So that's where we stand there, folks. When these carbon-rich ecosystems burn, vast amounts of the heat-trapping gases are released back into the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect. More than 21,200 fires in the Pantanal biome so far this year. Figure that is already 69% higher than the full year record from 2005, when the INPE recorded roughly 12,500 fires. There were 8,106 fires in September alone, more than 4 times the historic average for the month. So we're in trouble. Empower our immune system is always a good idea. Now a matter of social responsibility. Zombie fires burn in the Arctic. I know. We were in lockdown up here in Manitoba for 3 weeks, started November 12th. Beer store is open. Well, that's good. And summer is just starting down there. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but do you feel fine, buds? That's the question. I was reading about some scientists who make annual treks to the Arctic and areas where It would normally take an icebreaker for them to go. There were flowing waters this year. And they brought a fellow along who was reluctant to make the trip. And the promises of seeing walruses on the ice floe is what encouraged him to go. And there weren't any walruses because there weren't any ice floes. So things are changing rapidly up there. I mean, this is just in the span of a year's time. It had gotten that much warmer up there. A difference of 7 degrees Celsius from one year to the next. And they were truly surprised at how much warmer it was up there. They brought their long underwear and didn't need it. So, but yeah, it's the world's on fire, folks, and there's no stopping it. Katie, I was reading a story the other day about how not that many years down the road, your area might not be habitable. Peat moss burns underground in the Arctic, releasing much carbon. However, permaculturists have some proven methods to sequester carbon using natural process significant enough to do. Well, that's the problem with the tundra fires, is that they're perpetual. They're self-perpetuating. They release the carbon that continues to burn. It's self-perpetuating fire. They feed it feeds itself. Hempcrete industry may also help to sequester atmospheric carbon, a way of locking it up in the lime as the plant material petrifies in time. Also, the hemp plant itself catches much carbon. Water, or are you talking the new Pacific coastline making Phoenix a seaport? No, I'm talking about heat, that it's going to get so intense and so hot there, people won't be able to inhabit the area. And the loss of water, yeah, the lack of water and intense heat. And fires. The new Pacific coast. Well, that wouldn't be so bad, would it? New Pacific coast, that would make it more habitable, it would seem to me. People live in the Sahara. Yeah, but would you want to? Just because they live there doesn't mean it's habitable. It's like Sam Kinison said, people who live in areas where it's starving, we shouldn't be sending them food. We should be sending them suitcases and airline tickets. want to live here now. Record heat next week again, near 90. Near 90 isn't so bad. Tropical rainforests have the worst quality soil. For growing, farmers have to add chemicals to soil for fertilization and nutrient retention. That's true. That's true. The weather is nuts here. So it is for almost Thanksgiving. You know, it's better than the 30s we're having here right now. It's not supposed to be this cold here right now. You know, we're supposed to be in the low 50s. And we're getting 30-degree weather and shit. It sucks. I don't know what it was today. I slept till noon. It's 31 right now. Oh, excuse me, it's 46. Oh, but we're going up overnight. We're going to have a high of 53 overnight. That's strange. Oh, no. My mistake. It's supposed to be 41 and rainy tonight, with a high of 43 tomorrow. And then 29 tomorrow night, with a high of 53 on Monday, and 30 overnight. And then low 40s on Tuesday. Oh, and then we get back to normal Thursday. That's better. We finally get back to normal next week. So I expect cold in the fall. You grew up in Oregon. Yeah, I can understand cold in the fall, but not as cold as it's been. I mean, my goodness. You know, it's been cold and windy and nasty. We already had snow here. Post-2020 wildfire season, I wonder if new building trends will come. Like hempcrete buildings with total fire resistance, having phenomenal thermal performance and superb lifespans. Is it time now? Cold. I understand geekocidal tendencies. I spent 2 years in Alaska, so I know what cold is. I spent 2 years in Alaska when Alaska was cold. It's not cold anymore. I was up there in the mid 60s. So I know what cold is. I look at Anchorage weather now, and it's like weather here. It wasn't like that when I was up there. So things have changed a lot. Sounds great to me. Hempcrete. We will see more alternate living being accepted due to sheer numbers of homeless after the COVID shit. Absolutely. Absolutely. Things will have to change. It'll be a different world, face it. Things will never be what they were. Things will never be that way again. First of all, the whole COVID-19 pandemic has altered the way people work. Ever visit Nome? Never did. Pretty much stuck around the Palmer and Anchorage area. Yes. And I mean, shifting to automation has occurred in a lot of industry. And poor manual jobs, a lot of them are going to disappear. I mean, people, a lot of people who do manual work and physical work, a lot of those jobs aren't going to be available. A lot of automation is going to take over. Dog, welcome aboard. Yep. California's governor appears to be with the premature wave. I'm cautious to see how the state responds to this year's fire season. Even downtown Orange County, California, was evacuated this year. Yeah. Between automation and AI, the blue collar worker will be a thing of the past. Yeah. I've been here listening, just playing with plants. Oh, okay. Well, too, you got more people are going to be working from home permanently. Office space is going to be empty. It's going to be a lot of office space available that wasn't available before. Because companies are going to see they're going to be able to save a lot of money. Empty buildings. I mean, cities are already seeing that they have to reduce their rents because people are moving out of the city because of the virus. Okay. I'm having trouble here, huh? Am I disappearing on you guys? Because it's telling me I'm disconnecting and reconnecting. Anyway, that's what's going on. Is rents are going down in the cities. All these high-priced rents are dropping. What about those counties that won't allow you to be on your own property with an RV or a container home? Think they'll change? No, because those are in rural areas usually, or in suburbs. No, they won't change. Short buffer, no biggie. Oh, okay. Oh man, had the biggest FBI field office in the US for 20 years, from the late 70s to the late 90s, due to the amount of missing persons in the city. Wow. 7. So you can't blame me. There's huge areas of nothingness that you're not allowed to camp on. Even areas in Colorado, some entire counties won't allow you to do it. Oh, I believe that putting in that pipeline was something else. Yeah, I'm sure it created a population boom too. If automation adoption is high, it'll be with our intellects that we can earn more, that we get from allowance checks. Yeah, this pandemic is going to change the world. It's going to change travel. It's going to change everything. And it's going to start with this administration. And this is what, the oldest president that's ever been elected. I don't know that he's going to make it through 4 years. Whoever's going to run against him, and the way they're talking, it's going to be Trump. He may be running against Kamala, for all we know. I'm saying it may not be two old white men next time. A lot of things can change in 4 years. Look what happened in crazy years. Let's try reconnecting. There we go. I'm back. Hopefully it won't be 4 crazy years. Trump is going to be too busy in court cases in 2024 if he lives that long. Yeah, well, I wouldn't put suicide past him. He's that much of a narcissist that he'd take his own life before he'd go to prison. I think he'd do that. I think he'd kill himself before he'd go to prison. He might go to Russia. You think he'd go to prison, Katie? Try to run things there? Russia said no. He doesn't have too much money. You're wrong. He doesn't have any money. He owes $400 million to somebody. To Russia, no doubt. Is that anarchist or antichrist? It might be. Romney's a better pick. A well-padded room and an appropriate booby hatch. Yeah, I'd go with that. So this is if we're asking their respective provinces for special pandemic enforcement tactics. China, let's send them there, yeah. Go away, little girl. was It's All Over Now, Baby, orange. Man has handed out $13 million in pandemic fines. He would love a padded room if all the pads had pictures of Jim Bucket like Rambo. Yes. Saudi said he could go there. Yeah, he could walk into the embassy and never walk out again. It's been done before. So, oh, it's 421. See, where's H7 when you need him? He's supposed to remind me of these things. Happy 421, folks. Light. It's the glow around my head. Yeah. Ooh, spooky. I like that. That's what you need up there, more authority telling you what to do, even though you're grown adults. So I see you have white circle around your head. Is that better? What are we all smoking? Well, I got lemon tag. 24 point something or other THC sativa dominant hybrid. I'm no longer an angel. No, now I'm a devil. A devil in disguise. I kind of like this. Straight on sativa. That's nice. They don't carry a lot of sativas at the dispensary. They're hard to come by. And I try not to repeat. I try my best to get something different every week. And I've been doing pretty good. I've been doing pretty good so far. I mean, this is year 2. And I don't think I've repeated a weed yet. I've come close. I mean, I've done like East Coast sour diesel and sour diesel, that sort of thing. But I don't think I've repeated a weed yet. So this is easier on my eyes too, because that light's pretty bright. So nice glob too. Oh, you got some of the blueberry kush? Nice. Ah, both of those are good buds. You killed yours by drowning? Shouldn't do that. Glow in the dark. Ooh. Avalanche. This is Spliffy had an avalanche. I torture and maim plants. Okay. So excited to pick your brains. I have a green thumb. Oh, good. It's the best color. I'm a carpenter with a flat thumb, not a green one. I see. Well, I started out poorly, but mine are coming around. Got them all tied down, dog. I needed those 2 gallons of water, though. So I had to wait till I could make up till I had a couple of empty jugs that I could fill with tap water before I could tie those down. You let organics do the work. That's what I'm doing. Can't diagnose symptoms for shit. The powers that be never send Trump to jail for anything presidential related because the world would lose its faith in the USA. Standing as world power would be crushed. Never mind. No, you're most likely right. But they're going to get him for all the shit in New York. Okay? That's where they're going to get him. State of New York is after his ass big time, but the state of New York is going to get him. You know, they're the ones pouring over all this stuff now. USA has already lost faith. USA, so why shouldn't the rest of the world? How foolish a politician will look at Capitol Hill. Personnel shit, to be sure. Personal shit, to be sure. Well, the rest of the world seems to have already accepted Biden and congratulated him and are looking forward to the change and realize that Trump was a bogus piece of shit and are expecting things to be much better in the future. I mean, everything he got, okay, all the correspondence he has received was positive from around the world. Okay. When I hear people say they're all corrupt, I wonder if they would say that to Russia too. No, because they'd get jailed. The AG of New York said she will be waiting with handcuffs. at 12:01, January 20th. They're not all corrupt. No, Trump stole our stupids. What he did was expose them. Trump exposed all the stupid people in the country. All we have to do is round up everybody wearing a red hat. Now we know what percentage of people are stupid in this country. Okay. Nearly half. Okay. And we worry about 10% unemployment. We don't worry about all those idiots that got jobs. Okay. So, I mean, seriously. I mean, we were given two candidates and neither are fit for service. Well, we'll see what happens. It's my lighter. GOP has no new people. Sure they do. They got a QAnon person in Congress now. What does a 70-year-old man know about a 25-year-old? Farmer's life and what he needs? No young ideas. But he's surrounding himself with the right people. He's already put together a task force of doctors to handle the pandemic, of TV personalities, okay, or radio personalities, or people who don't know shit about viruses, okay? I don't understand that. New York is going after Trump now. Why not 4 years ago? What they are going after is from back then and farther. So if he was a criminal then, how did he ever get past hits all over here? But they voted blue. Well, a lot of shit happened between then and now to change their minds. You know? They accuse us of what they are. How'd they ever get past the vetting process? I have no idea. No, QAnon doesn't eat babies. They accuse people of eating babies, drinking their blood. You like to drink baby blood, huh? Yummy, num num. Yeah, what vetting? Oh, that explains it. All Libras drink baby blood. Well, that's a foregone conclusion. Oh, I thought you said Libra, not liberal. I'm sorry. Cops calling people sovereign citizens. Easy for you to say. $15 Canadian. Up that Trump pardons himself. Well, no, in order to pardon himself, he'd have to admit he was guilty of something. Taurus. I'm a Gemini. So's dog. You have a Gemini rising. Nice. Geminis rock. Yes, they do. Well, they could. The reason New York didn't do anything before is because they couldn't get a hold of Trump's taxes. He was being audited at the time. Oh, just stuff the whole thing in there. Just stick the whole diamond in there. What the hell? You're not doing anything else today. Just drop the whole thing in there. Gob it. I am tempting you. That's it. Just what I'm doing. Yeah, just put the whole thing in there. What the hell? It's just a diamond. Right, Katie? Right, Katie? You should just put the whole thing in there. Sure. Sure. Just stick it all in there. Well, if he does, he needs a rest. That's all. See, Katie agrees. You should do the whole thing. Hallucinate. There you go. The warden says, don't you dare. Yeah, what prisoner ever listened to the warden? You're supposed to hang paneling. Wow, how cool would that be, huh? Do the diamond and then hang paneling? How cool would that be? What fun. Wakes up bong in hand. Who said the paneling had to go on straight? Do more of an avant-garde job on it, you know? Something artistic with the paneling. You know, panel here, panel there. Panel everywhere. Yeah, something abstract. Something truly unique. Express yourself in paneling. Bunch of pot leaves on the wall to match the plants. Companies Limited Company, just like many large corps, get regular government audits. In no way on God's green earth. In 50 years of business, this is his first audit. No, it's not his first audit. It's a perpetual audit. Haven't you listened to him? It's never ended. He's always been audited. And that's why he can't release his taxes, because he's being audited forever. I divide my grow room into half of a bedroom for my daughter. Oh, that's nice. Just trying to understand all this. Can't sleep. Plants go to sleep in the garage. His audit was halted when he became president. It will pick up again. Or the porch dog. Yeah. Our system is so screwed up, geek. It will fry your mind. Well, it couldn't have been suspended, because then he would have been able to turn his taxes over. And he didn't. Remember? He said he was under audit still and couldn't turn them over. So the audit must still be ongoing, because he still couldn't turn over his taxes. Well, that looks good in the dark. I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, more or less. Dog, you're right. More or less. All you have to do, dog, is become one of the ones who run it. Run for office. That's all you have to do. Run for dog catcher or something. Work your way on up. Don't complain about the system. Be a part of it. You bitch about the crooked politicians, become one. Yeah, become ultra rich. There you go. Apparently, a presidential pardon can be issued before a conviction. It's been done, but is highly unusual, sort of like Trump himself. Don't complain, set fires. Well, yeah, but a conviction would still require an admission of guilt. And he won't admit guilt. Do nothing or become one. Because if you try and stop it, he may kill you for that. It always has been. Look at our founders. Yeah, they were the leaders of the community. I mean, after all, John Hancock was a smuggler. I mean, that's why there was a Boston Tea Party, because he had his own tea business. You'd be the best, worst politician ever. One of the best, worst politicians was Rod Blagojevich, our former governor here in Illinois. So George Washington was the nephew of an earl. What's bad is if you want to change the people that you want to change from are the ones that get to vote, whether they change or not. How stupid is that? What's bad is if you want to change the people that you want to change from are the ones that get to vote. What's bad is if you want to change the people that you want to change from are the ones that get to vote, whether they change or not. That whole statement is confusing to me. Your grandpa was an earl? Oh, Earl Baker. I see. I got you. Self-policing never works. No. That's why we're police. Put a period after the word change. What's bad is that if you want change, the people that you want to change from are, I don't know which change to put a period after. There's 3 changes in the sentence. Tell me tomorrow. The pardon would alleviate him from ever having to admit guilt. Hence the pre-conviction pardon, just another slimy loophole that someone thought just in case. But he could only pardon himself of federal charges. He can't pardon himself of state charges. Because although there's a federal government, the federal government has no state rights. Okay? So the state can still proceed against him because the states are still independent of the federal government. Like I said, tell me tomorrow. Yes, they are. That's just way confusing. I'm sorry. Kitty wants sausage from my pizza. I gave my dud instead. Dumb kitty, sleepy kitty. you like dip it in sauce? Something like that. Make it taste Italian. I'm going to do a puzzle tonight because I'm bored. And that's what I have. Okay. Cat loves getting baked. Only the stoner cat. Oh. I had my hand up in the arm over, had my arm up in the air over here. And as I was rocking back and forth, it was moving. I thought there was someone standing in the doorway behind me. I'm stoned. So as long as his charges are state charges, he won't be able to pardon. Yeah, he can't pardon himself. Yeah, so long as they're state charges, he's fucked. So it's federal charges he could, but otherwise, yeah, he's fucked. Yeah, state governor could pardon him, yes. But the governor's a Democrat. So that's not going to happen. Don't let that arm put an eye out. Yeah, I know. It's like, right here. I got to be careful. It's my smoking hand. The other one shakes more than this one does. So. Told you so. Meds are working. Well, these meds are working. Yeah. These meds are working real good. You know, when I start thinking I'm sneaking up on myself, that's working real good. Oh, that's why I'm here. To get stoned. No, I mean, no. Here. Of course, I know all about how your government works. Bullshit. I know nothing. So you'll have to fill me in. Line for coffee. Got project distracted. Oh. What project is that? Yeah, it makes me shake. I drink it once in a while, rarely. I have a K-cup maker, so I can make just one cup at a time. That's why Trump moved to Florida. He thought New York could not get him there. Bullshit. They can get him. Okay, well, we'll see you, Stoney. Thanks for coming aboard. Hope everything's okay with your friend. Trump's your prime reason for wanting to live on Mars? Because he's not there? He might flee to there. It's not the days of Bonnie and Clyde. Well, you know, they would have to extradite him from Florida to New York, except that I believe the charges are against, some of the charges are against his corporation, which is incorporated in the state of New York. So, you know, he's of course, the president of the corporation, probably the only shareholding officer. So, you know, because he wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, that's why he couldn't turn control of any of his holdings over to his children when he became president, because he just couldn't do that, you know, just out of sheer arrogance, you know, just, you know, well, he needs weed. Well, that's definitely an emergency. You know, yeah, just have to wait and watch. Was a tiny aspect of a macro project aiming to introduce better working order to a dysfunctionally chaotic space. Still working on my parents' place. Ah, okay. I have a green siren on my emergency vehicle for weed deliveries. Cool. Get your Jiffy Pop ready. That stuff never works. It's always half burnt. I don't know. I don't know why anybody ever buys that shit. They've been making money for 50 years, 70 years more. And it never works. Must be nice to be able to sell a shitty product that never works and people just keep buying it. How does that happen? I shake the shit out of it. It still burns on the bottom. There's still burnt kernels. It always burns. Never had it work. Used to bring Jiffy Pop camping. Ever since you've known me, that mission has been me. Okay. That was a good hit. And my hand's not sneaking up on me anymore. There it is. Not like before, though. Before it was over here, standing in the doorway, peeking around the corner. Sneaky hand, yeah. Like shackles, this job holds me to completion. What's for supper tonight? Oh, we're having a pizza, I believe. Something simple. I realize that job's come to define me. Oh, it has. Huh? Oh, I have a massage from someone we all know. Whoa. That's quite a puzzle. I think I have to. Can you see that, folks? That's the puzzle. That's the puzzle dog's doing tonight. You see that? And she'll chili sloppy joes from HelloFresh. Wow, that sounds really good. With that understanding, I bought a new course along the same heading. It's good to keep busy, Seeker. Always trying to do something just to pass the time and keep busy. Seen that as a diamond painting. Oh, have you really? It's good to be pliable like that, dog. Plotting new courses for having acquired new understandings. HelloFresh is yummy so far. This is month 3 for really. I know we're so far out in the sticks. I don't know if I can get that sort of thing. I think it's a recipe service. Comes FedEx. Oh, comes FedEx. Well, that makes it different. That I get. I have trouble keeping busy with the real business of it all. But it had become practice in busying self with distractions. Fresh and ice cold. Huh. Yeah, so you get a fresh meal every day. Is it reasonably priced? Three meals for two per week is $53. Three meals for two per week, $53. I see. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Do you get to select or, like preferential? You can send me a free box if I want to try it. Cool. Oh, nice. Sure. Because then I know I'd at least be guaranteed that I'd eat right at least 3 times a week. Because I don't always eat healthy. HurricaneSpliffy@gmail.com. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yep, that's me. Wow. Nice. That's really nice. You get 2 servings because you live alone. Okay. Oh, so you got a surf and a turf. I see. $14.99 per serving extra, but I get to eat it twice. Two steaks, 2 lobster tails. Whoa, sweet. Two steaks, 2 lobster tails. That is nice. They didn't offer it for one person. You had to do it for both. But that doesn't mean you can't have surf and turf 2 days in a row. I mean, it'll keep for a day. It would seem to me. Am I not wrong? Oh, there you go. And keep for longer than a day. Do you get a dessert? Dessert is extra. I see. That's okay. I don't generally eat dessert anyway. Just curious. Oh no, though. Still seems like a good deal. I become bored with known distractions. Those I have a hard time staying busy with, but not the other stuff. There's plenty to stay busy with as it relates to the business of actionable betterment. I don't know. I'm still, although I'm not as depressed as I was, new medication is helping. I'm still inactive. I still have to do something about that. So that's not a good thing. Get the starch in a veggie. They offer vegan, vegetarian plans as well. No, I'm a carnivore. So, although I suppose you can throw in a veggie meal now and then, right? If I want a meatless dinner once a week, I could do that. Because it's not a bad idea to eat a meatless meal once in a while. Oh, you get a veggie pasta a lot. Okay. Just so I could throw in a meatless meal once in a while. Maybe once a week or so. Because I like that. Stay away from meat once in a while. That all sounds very appealing. Have a large menu. Good. I like that too. Well, I'll be looking forward to your email. I'm going to wrap things up, folks, before I have to light another joint. I'm pretty stoned. I'm hallucinating about my hand. Oh. Really? Wow. And that's the thing to do. Thanks for the tip. Well, remember, there's, yeah, me too. There's nothing funny about peace, love, and understanding. Have a good week and tune in Tuesday. Bye now.